Yes, this is H10 Hanshin Tigers English News. And since we are on your screens and you're watching us, this means that we just finished recording episode 142 of the podcast. It's me, T-Ray, and next to me over here is
Sanjay, JJJ. Aloha, brother T-Ray.
Aloha. How's it?
How's it?
Man, I am excited about the 2022 baseball season. I think, as we just talked about, these positions, these battles for various positions on the Tigers roster, on the starting, in the starting nine, etc. I'm just starting to get excited about all these players. And I don't know about you, man, but there's lots of guys on my mind, lots of guys that I look forward to seeing perform at a high level for this team, not only in 2022, but, for years to come. So tell me, who have you got as one of your number one guys that you have got your eyes on this spring?
Well, it's actually obvious that my number one guy that I have my eye on is Mr. Takumu Nakano, whose jersey I have thanks to the Patreon proxy service offered by Hanshin Tigers English News.
Plug. Thank you.
And, I'm encouraged that he is doing better enough, as we talked about in the podcast, that he's probably going to be joining the team in regular fielding workouts. And I'm hoping, for full and speedy recovery from my man, Takumu.
Right. Yes. Definitely a guy that we need. And I seriously think, man, he is going to win the Golden Glove at shortstop if he gets enough playing time in there. He is dynamite in the field, and his bat plays quite well as well. So I'm really excited about him. Give me a pitcher, though, that you're looking forward to.
The pitcher that I'm looking forward to is our number one draft pick, Mr. Daichi Moriki, who is just the most amazing young human being I've ever come across in my entire life.
Okay, I mean, get this though. We actually didn't pick him first. We wanted Kenta Kozono, who went to the Bay Stars, and by default or by plan B, we got Moriki. But I'm with you on that. I'm super excited. Tell me more.
Well, you've posted some videos on this guy from when he was a high schooler? Junior high. 15, and the guy was like thinking at a level that was basically professional, and he's just gone up from there. And if you follow him on Instagram or follow somebody who knows him on Instagram or whatever, you've seen that his body has been worked on, developed to the point where he looks like a weightlifter. Apparently his legs and his hamstrings and his buttocks look like a horse. I mean, that's, generating a lot of power. He's throwing close to 160 kilometers an hour, and is just and he likes hitting too. So what do you want? What more do you want from him? That's like a baseball player from made in heaven.
There you go. Yeah, pretty stoked about him. And then also we could talk about one of my favorites for this season, and that would be our last year's first round draft pick. Whoa, there you go. The year before, that would be Teruaki Sato. So that's actually the topic of today's show, because we got Moriki, we've got great hopes for him for the future. We've got Sato, who had an awesome rookie season, especially the first half, or only the first half. And then, we talk about these first round draft picks that we've had, in recent years, and we think, wow, we've got it made here. But I've got a little bit of a, I guess, surprise for you, if you will. And that is that we're actually not as good at picking first round picks as you might think. So I've got a little PowerPoint for you here, and it's called The Curse of the First Rounders, Hanshin Tigers Drafting Pick Woes 2005 to 2017. So we'll preface this by saying that these guys here get a free pass because they are too new to the team to be able to say that they are successful or that they are busts. We're pretty close on Koji Chikamoto to saying that he is successful and he was a great first round draft pick. In fact, I would already venture to say that he is. Sato, well, we'll get to some other guys on this list that had great rookie seasons as well. So even though he did have a great rookie season, it's too early to say that he was a wonderful pick. And the other two really haven't done anything at the top squad yet. So we're going to start this in the year 2017. And who was our first round draft pick in 2017? That would be Kosuke Baba, also known a couple of years back by me and some of the H10 crew as the B in Biohazard. So Baba was the B. Kazuo Ito was the I, and Ogawa was the O. That was in 2020. And if you look at his numbers here, you might say, whoa, what are you talking about? A 2.08 ERA in 2020. How is he biohazard? Well, that whip does not match up with that ERA at all. Besides that, you've got a lot of unearned runs that, well, technically they might have been unearned, but he still did not do himself any favors. 4 wild pitches that season. He also allowed a lot of his inherited runners to score. And this is a guy that was a first round pick, expected to be part of the rotation. And his career in innings pitched is still below 90 after 4 seasons. So while I wouldn't call him a bust, I don't think he's lived up to the expectations of being a first round draft pick. Any thoughts on Baba?
You would be remiss to not mention that he is often referred to as Baba Gekijo, which I guess the best translation is something along the lines of Baba's drama. I mean, he is sort of like,
yeah,
he just can't get through a clean 1-3 inning. It's got to be something going on, and full counts to everybody, bases loaded, and then he strikes the guy out.
Yep.
So
and then it's Baba Guts.
Baba Guts. Yeah.
Yes. Well, yeah, you look at his career, 1.43 whip, and that is far from appealing right there. This is just the tip of the iceberg, though. And we're actually, our next guy that we've got on this list is not one of the curse. I would say he's actually turned out fairly well, but he does definitely have a ways to go. And that would be Yusuke Oyama. So I've circled a couple numbers on this here that highlight how good he has been. 2019, he was, I think, second in the league in doubles with 33. And then he was second in the league in home runs with 28 in 2020. And he's been in the top 10 or top 6, 7 in RBIs for the past 3 seasons. So that's all good. But if you look at his OPS, and I know this is not really a fair number to always gauge a guy by, but that 918 is the outlier here. And that's where we'd like for him to be year in and year out, especially because we're automatically comparing him to other teams' number 4 hitters. So when you stack him up against Okamoto, Murakami, and Seiya Suzuki, he falls way short. And so, yeah, he's not a bust, but he's not the number 4 hitter that we need yet. Question for you, is he ever going to be?
I am going to say that he is going to be a number 5 hitter that we need.
Okay, I would agree with that. And maybe the number 4 might be my boy that I'm wearing today, and that would be Sato. What do you think?
That's exactly what I was thinking when I said that.
That, or, I mean, never know. It could be like a Maegawa or an Inoue if things go well for them as well.
Right.
Okay, so let's move on now. We are going to the 2015 first round pick. Do you remember who that was?
2015?
Yes.
Isn't that Shun Takayama?
That is Shun Takayama. By the way, we should say this about Oyama. When he was picked in the first round by Kanemoto, the entire audience at the draft groaned because they couldn't believe that we chose him, because there were so many other names out there that we could have had. And yet it hasn't been a terrible pick. Okay, but Takayama is a guy that, as we see here, he won the Rookie of the Year in 2016, but in 2021, no top squad appearances. He has the potential. He had the franchise record for hits by a rookie, which he held for all of 3 seasons because Chikamoto broke it, but 136 was the golden standard for a while. And Takayama was on the path towards being our maybe right fielder, I don't know, of the future. But now he's the what of the future? I don't know, because he's not playing anymore. 2014, do you remember who we had?
No, I don't remember that.
No, and you shouldn't, because it was Yuya Yokoyama. Who dat, right? He's not with the team anymore. We actually tried first to get Kohei Arihara, who is now with the Texas Rangers, or did he get dropped by them? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
And then after that, we tried for Yasuaki Yamasaki, but he went to the Bay Stars. They won that lottery. And so we ended up with this guy. He went down to a development contract for a couple of years, but as you can see, he has got a grand total, or had a grand total, of 3 wins in his career. He always seemed to have a couple of good starts, and then he got hurt. And then that was the end of him, and he just never panned out. So that was our 2014. How about 2013? Who we got?
Man, my old brain cell's not working anymore. Oh, I know this guy.
Yeah, we do know this guy. He's still on the staff. He's not who he used to be. I'll say that much, because 2016 was his coming out party when he reached double digits in wins. Also got the pitcher of the month in May and was an all-star. You look at those numbers. I mean, 10 wins, 9 losses on a team that finished 12 games below 500. That's pretty outstanding. 156 strikeouts and an ERA of 2.9 with a whip of 1.1. And since then, his whip has never been close to that, and nor has his ERA. He has now been relegated to the bullpen. As you can see, he's got no starts in 2021, and he just had a stinker of a 2021. So I don't know. It's hard to say that he's panned out, even though he has played 169 games for the team. This is still one of the better ones, though, when you look at the list that's about to come. So can you remember who our 2012 first round pick is? I'm going to ask you this every time.
And I'm going to say, no, I don't remember.
Then I'm not going to ask you every time, but it was Fujinami in 2012.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I know this guy too.
Yeah, we talk about this guy in every show, so you probably know more about him than we do, if that's possible. But if you look at his, this is a guy who was drafted out of high school in year 1, 2, and 3. He recorded 10, 11, and 14 wins. He was on the path to greatness, 221 strikeouts in his age 21 season to lead the Central League. Just crazy. I mean, we definitely thought this was going to be our ace for the next decade. Instead, he went from 14 wins. And I know I'm doing the lazy Japanese journalist thing of looking at wins only, but 14-7, 3, 5, 0, 1, 3. And, you look at his innings pitched, and he has not been over 100, let alone qualifying for titles since 2016. So as we talked about in the show proper, and you'll have to listen to it, everybody, this is the year for Fujinami to bounce back, right?
That's right.
Okay, 2011, the KO University hope for our outfield, Hayata Ito. What happened, man? A season high of 2 home runs. Best RBI total was 13. I don't know. Just every year, he didn't really get a ton of playing time in any given year. As you can see, even his career high or his season high for at-bats, plate appearances was 172 in 2018. He got cut at the end of the 2020 season, I believe. So he went a full 2 seasons without a top squad appearance before he got sent out to pasture.
And they had high hopes for him too. They had high hopes.
Yeah, they did. They certainly did. 2010, here's another guy we had high hopes for, Daichi and Okida. And I know you met him at a fitness gym. Is that right?
That's correct. It was 24-hour fitness in Waikiki. And he was working out there with Mima, who was still pitching for the Eagles.
Yeah.
No, he went somewhere else.
Marines.
They had been like teammates on the Shakaijin, the industrial league teams, with the trainer. And what a nice guy. And he was just very friendly, and we talked and had a good time, and I wished him well. And unfortunately, he didn't stick.
He ended up being picked up by the Lions, actually traded to the Lions before the 2018 season. And if you look at this, his best season in terms of wins was far and away his first season with the Lions with 11. I don't think he reached 11. No, he did. He got 13 with us in his first, in his 7 seasons with us. And then he almost matched that total in 1 year with the Lions. There were some good numbers in there, though, because if you look at his rookie season, man, 63 innings pitched, 71 Ks, and a really good, nice, clean ERA in his first 2 years. Those were all out of the bullpen. And then when he switched over to starting, briefly, things did not go so well for him. Anyhow, it's just going to get worse from here, man. You would expect, that even a guy drafted in 2009, so that would mean that if he was 22 when he was drafted, he would be 35 now. So you'd think he'd still be with the Tigers in some capacity. No guy. Kazuhito Futagami did not last more than, well, as you can see, he lasted 6 or 7 seasons, but he only made it to the top squad in 3 of those seasons. So there's a big who for you. Let's go to 2008, an even bigger who, 2 whole games played for the Hanshin Tigers. I'm not going to butcher his Taiwanese name, but in Japanese, he was known by Sho Ikketsu, and he simply did not last, never recorded a single win. Another who, Takuya Takahama, who went over to the Lotte Marines as a compensation for a free agent that we picked up, a Kobayashi. But he even with the Marines, he hasn't amounted to anything, let alone with the Tigers, where he never made it to the top squad. Here's another who for you, Masashi Nohara, I had never even heard this guy's name until I did the research for this show. So there you go. There you go. A total of 25 plate appearances for him, a whopping 3 singles in that. And finally, in 2005, well, this guy actually had some traction, 11-year career with the Tigers. Not much to show for his 11 years, though. 227 and 2/3 innings pitched, 9 wins, and a career ERA of 3.8. Just never found his spot. Tried a bit of starting, tried a lot of relieving, didn't work anywhere. So that's our Hanshin Tigers and our first round draft picks. So have you still got that great hope for Moriki?
Yes, absolutely. He's going to be the exception that proves the rule. Believe me.
Well,
You heard it here first.
As we know, we can twist data to make it say almost anything we want it to. And if you look at our first round draft picks from, say, 2015 forward, we got one rookie of the year there. We got Oyama in there. We got Koji Chikamoto, who should have been or would have been rookie of the year in any other given year. And we've got Sato, who also could have made a case for rookie of the year as well. So we have definitely drafted some really good guys in that first round in recent years. Junya Nishi is still just 20 years old, turning 21 this season. And so his best years are ahead of him. And of course, Moriki, his best year could very well be 2022. I sure hope it is.
His best year is going to be 2022 all the way through like 2042. It's just going to keep getting better and better.
Man, if he plays until that age, I don't even know if I'll live to see his final inning pitched. I'm just kidding. No, hey, thanks a lot for joining us for this post show. We appreciate your patronage. If you want to join us on Patreon, go down to the description in the show notes here and join us. Also, subscribe to our channel. It always helps. We're getting closer and closer to the 1,000 subscriber mark. Looking forward to reaching that plateau. Thanks, Sanjay, for joining today. It was fun taking this trip down memory lane with you.
Thanks for having me as always.
Let's go, Tigers.